Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the first Monday in December Metaphysical Chat Live. So excited to have you here tonight. And I put that picture up so you could get a good look at it before I covered it up. I wanted you to see those amazing angel warriors that stand behind us as we go through this battle for Earthtopia. And so how's everybody doing tonight? You feeling good? You excited? Got lots of questions? Let me know. Hey, Maureen, Aurora Blue, Karen, Kathy, Dr. Elena, Brittany, welcome. So some of you were here yesterday for the fundraising event for Dr. Elena. I hope you enjoyed it. It was long. We poured our hearts into it. And I have to say, sadly, it was not what I was hoping for or expecting. And I've gone through a difficult 24 hours processing that. Why did that happen? How, when the angels had their blessing behind it, did it stumble and fall so miserably? But whatever the case may be, we did accomplish something. And I'm going to put the link for donations, love gifts for Dr. Elena in the pinned comment in just a second, because you can still send her donations to help her find a place to live so that she can do her work and serve all of us at the highest level of her ability. Kind of hard to do that if you don't have a home base. So, and it's important they not be super chats, because then YouTube takes a cut. So if you go through her link, then the whole thing goes to her. So I want to be sure you have that. And if you missed it, she had some exciting news about her surgery, that she had surgery on the one eye. So she's now got excellent vision in one eye. So she's gone from being legally blind for months to having vision in one eye. And in a couple of weeks, hopefully the same will happen with the second eye. So that will make a tremendous difference. And we're so grateful for that miracle, because who would have expected that it would have come out better than before? That's just not something that normally happens. So definitely some angel intervention there. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving and are looking forward to moving on these crazy, crazy energetic days. Let's see. I just want to put this in the pinned comment for you, and then I'll have it in place. There we go. So now it's at the top for you. Welcome, Beth, Laura, Penn Grumbine. That's a new one. Welcome. Glad to see you. Ms. Debbie. Yeah, awesome. So glad to see more people popping in with us tonight. Hi, Sandra. Yeah, you did have a great Thanksgiving. Good to see you. And you're writing a new book. We can share that with everybody. I hope it's okay to share that with everybody. Yeah, that's exciting. There's a lot of anticipatory energy in the community right now as we move through this craziness and move forward into the 2026 energies of new beginnings and hopefully exciting new times. So very much looking forward to that. All right, so start putting your questions in there, and I will, in a few minutes, we'll start doing the questions when we get a few more people here. Yeah, so Brittany put a question in for me. Awesome. Oh, it's okay to share. Thanks, Sandra. I appreciate that. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't have a whole lot new to tell you since yesterday, because, it was nearly 6 hours we were on. So I think I pretty much shared all there was to share. But I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with these energies, because it's been really crazy. And I don't know, it feels like going through the ringer or something. Just really, oh, I know what it feels like. It feels like stomping grapes, and we're the grapes. That's kind of what it feels like. And I'm ready to have that done, because who needs grape stains on their bodies, right? Or on their psyche or any of that stuff. Beth, you don't have a specific question. Well, if you think of something, Or if you just want a general one, that's fine too. You can ask for that. Yeah, crazy, Brittany says, absolutely. And that's really, there's just so much going on. And I'm getting a few new downloads, but it's too soon to talk about them because I'm still processing. So hopefully that will come soon. Hey, Regina, welcome. Glad to have you here. Awesome. Yeah, I'm just tap dancing a little bit, waiting for a few more people to show up before I start answering questions. So I think, given yesterday's marathon session and being a little run down, I think we're going to make tonight's a little shorter than normal and get through everybody's questions. So we're going to do one question per person. And if there's time, then we can come back around. But at least I want to get one question for everybody that wants one answered. I presume if you're here, you want a question answered. So, yeah. Okay. Well, we got 20 people now. Hallelujah. That's good news. And Dr. Elena put her question in. Awesome. Welcome, Mike. Path clarity. Yep, we will talk about that. Absolutely. Aurora Blue, you would like a message from your guides. You got it. Okay. Just going to star you guys so that I'll be able to come back to you. So those of you who were here yesterday, that was the first time that I actually had done a live stream wearing my hearing aids. So I have a question for you because they're really weird. They go in and out on me sometimes because it's running on Bluetooth through my phone. And you know how when the phone like times out, it kind of blanks out and it might cut off whatever's going on, which it's not supposed to be doing. And it's really distressing. But my question to you is, I can't tell because it's piping straight into my ears. Were there times when the voice cut out and you could see the lips moving, but you didn't hear anything? Because I don't know how that translated. I haven't had time to go back and look at the video, but it'd be really helpful to know that. Okay, lots of good questions popping up here. Thank you, guys. I'm just trying to get stars on all of them so I can come back and find you when we get the conversation really buzzing. Okay, 18 people. Gosh, we lost a couple already. That's disappointing. People have no patience these days, I swear. Love a girl, 10. Hey there, welcome. Karen, you got it. Kathy, you did hear all of it. That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that because I have to wear them for a while, get used to them because it's retraining the brain. And then I have to go back to the audiologist and do some tweaking. So I need to figure these things out so that I can give them good feedback and they can help me tweak it. Oh, Miss Debbie, thank you. You didn't notice any skips. Awesome. That is really good news. Yeah, well, I'm going to switch it now. It's got a different program that is less bothersome to my ears. So, yeah, okay, that's where it's at now. Good. It's really, really difficult because sometimes it's way too loud. And then other times I can't make out the words. So I'm trying to find that balance place. This is not a fun trip, you guys. I'm so looking forward to getting my miracle and having this healed so that I don't have to deal with that anymore. Well, Sandra, you don't have to miss it. It's all on replay. So that's the good news. And by the way, I will be going back as soon as I have a minute and putting timestamps in there because Dr. Elena told so many amazing stories. So I want to mark those so that you can go through and find the fun stories, the ones that you haven't heard, because some of them you might have heard, but I know there's a lot of new stuff in there that nobody heard before. Awesome. So Aurora Blue, you got the audio was good too. Well, that is a blessing. I'm so happy to hear that. Wow, that's a freaky thing, Brittany. You're sitting in a gallery setting reading people and you see their faces change in your mind's eye, but you're wondering if your own face changes. I don't know, because I've not seen the faces change. Are you talking about through your third eye you're seeing it, or are you actually seeing it through your eyeballs? Because I imagine it could be either one. Yeah, Miss Debbie, I'm hoping, because it's a perpetual link, so people can avail themselves of it at any time. And, also hopefully they will go and check out her YouTube channel and, give her some views. That would help. Some subs would help so that, she can get the messages out to more people. Because she's getting lots of downloads too, and a lot is stirred up and moving around right now. It's a crazy time to be in this business, I gotta tell you. Karen, you were blown away by her story. Amazing person, yeah. And that's why I wanted to share it with you, because I've been hearing these stories from her for several years now, and it's unlike pretty much anybody I've ever met. I don't know anybody else who is doing the kind of work she's doing almost undercover, because it's like going out there doing these fantastical things on our behalf, and we're not even aware, and we need to be. We need to support that. So it's important that we share. Thank you, Linda. So glad you like it. And I was in a quandary. What kind of a background do I want to use tonight to kick off December? And I came across this one with the warrior angels, and I thought, oh my gosh, as we go into December and we're racking up this last month of the year, that maybe this would be a suitable one for it. So I'm glad you like it. Yeah, and I have my big crystal on tonight, so let's bring that energy in. We're going to bring all the energy in with us. Oh, thank you, Miss Debbie. I'm so glad. There's a floating sword. Huh. Okay, I'm not seeing it. Let me flip it back over to just the picture. Maybe we'll see the floating sword. It may be that I'm covering something up, and that's why oh, maybe you mean the one above, the one in the center. I guess that could be a sword. I kind of thought that was a portal, but whatever you see is perfect. Awesome. You looked like a Marilyn Monroe almost, but yourself, and it left you a shockwave. Yeah, interesting stuff. Absolutely. The left side at the end. Okay. Oh, I see it. Thank you, Linda. I did not see that before. That's freaky and interesting. Yeah. Well, thank you to AI for putting that together. That's very creative. Sometimes they pleasantly surprise us, and then sometimes they just go totally haywire. You just never know. Okay, well, it's 9:15, so I guess I've tap danced long enough. We should jump into doing some questions. Is it Creator holding the sword at the end? I'll just ask that. Angels, is that Creator holding the sword at the end of the image? They're saying no, but they're not telling me what it is. No, Creator is there, is the omnipresence of the entire image, so not just the sword. They're saying that's a special sword that doesn't need anybody to wield it. It wields itself. Fascinating. Okay, well, I hope that makes sense, Linda. So if you guys didn't see, Irish Granny Helen put out a new video. We did the Black Dahlia story, and that just dropped today. So I put the link for it on the community page if you're interested in that particular story. That one, I tell you, it was dark and long. We learned a lot. We got the real story from Elizabeth, the woman who was the Black Dahlia, who's almost been eclipsed by the myth of the whole thing. And truly, that's what it's turned into, is a myth, not having a lot of connection to reality. And she's just asking that we put the whole thing to bed, because she's over it, long ago over it. And it's interesting how we can take something and raise it up and make something out of it that it was never actually in truth. But yeah, she would like us to put it behind and move on. Next Monday, we're going to meet again and we're going to do 3 more. So she is really on a rage here, a rampage rather, to put these things out. So we're doing, I think, like 6 a month at this point. And I don't usually know what they are until right before we get ready to do it. Just enough time to do the images for the backgrounds, and then we jump in. Love a girl. I will get you started, and we will come back to your question. Okay. So just one more thing I want to comment on the Dr. Elena story that I don't think we made it really clear because we bounced around a lot. But the thing that has just blown my mind about the story is that all of her life, she thought she was this Native American child who was stolen at birth from her mother and then sold to these adoptive parents, and then all the negative stuff that ensued from that. But then in the more recent past, she found out through DNA and connecting with the real birth parents, she did find them through, the DNA services, which is phenomenal. Sadly, they're both deceased, but, she's been able to get some more details about where she came from and who she is, and an entirely different story. But she did know she was a walk-in soul. She's known that for a really long time and not talked about it publicly. So here's where the twist comes in. The body that she's occupying belonged to the baby that was born of this white mother and this Colombian man. So that's the South American native. And so that's the body DNA that she's carrying. But the original soul left when it was an infant. It had that, the brain stuff going on, and it was in a coma. And it sounds to me like water on the brain, like a hydrocephalic, something like that, there at the end before they went in and they released the pressure. And then they did a baptism of the body because they thought the baby was going to die. And after that baptism, her soul popped in. So when you think about it, her soul chose to jump into a body that had all of that pretty traumatic stuff that had already gone on to the body. So starting out with a big handicap, and then, it expanded from there because of the abuse and all the things she went through, and then later trauma, because there was the confusing thing is the victim energy of the body, I think, hung on and influenced the soul. And then, of course, the soul that comes in, not originally belonging to that body, has to play catch up and figure out all these other things. Even though it was from an infant, there's still that catch up to do to understand about the place and the family and, all those other pieces. And the dichotomy between the body and the soul, because they were different. They didn't start out together. How that impacts all the experiences going forward. Because Dr. Elena came in with an intention of bringing this powerful energy that she today wields to Earth, doing all of this amazing shamanic dreamwalker work. But I don't think she fully understood what she was going to have to overcome because of taking on that other body. So that all just kind of is mixed up in my brain, and I'm trying to make sense of it and get more insight that might be helpful to her. Because can you imagine how confusing that is to try and figure out who the heck you are? I mean, she doesn't even know when her real birthday is because she thinks they lied to her parents about the birth date. And, she's got a few ideas that she's gotten from various people about what the birth date might be, but she doesn't really know. So there's a lot of unknowns. And for myself, I was adopted by my father, and there's a big unknown there about my birth father. And I have since proved who my birth father is through DNA testing, but he's always denied he's my father. And I'm not going back to give him another chance to reject me. So I grew up with that also, that missing piece of myself. Because when you don't know that stuff, you go to the doctor and they want your history. There's a big chunk missing. You've got to just kind of guess and figure things out. It makes things a little more challenging. So I can empathize from that small portion of my experience that overlaps with hers, but I simply can't imagine, what it's all been about. And to go through all of that and to still be this amazing, empowered light worker, doing all the work that she's doing, challenged on the financial side majorly, of course. That's why we did the fundraiser, to get her on her feet after the blindness episode here. But I know with our help and the angels, she's going to come through this and be able to stand even more powerfully in that mission that she brings to the world, representing us and helping us with our breakthroughs. So, okay, I've puzzled through that enough. I think I still have a lot of questions, but if I get more on that, I'll let you know. It's just a big mystery to me, and it's fascinating. Okay, let's see. Where are we at with the comments? Oh, and Brittany said, yeah, that you see the face like in your third eye, your mind's eye. And you see what the spirit is wearing when the medium sees them. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, when I connect with a soul, I will see something. There's almost always a body and a face and clothing, but it may not have anything to do with what they are in this lifetime. It could be representative, could be symbolic. You just never know. But it's really interesting that you saw yourself with a Marilyn Monroe face. So I don't know, was that her trying to reach out to you? That's kind of an interesting concept to explore. Okay. Pen Grumbine. I'm sorry if I'm, mashing your name. I'm not quite sure how to say it. Maybe you can write it out for me phonetically so that I can get it more correct for you. That was her soul contract. See, soul contracts are kind of complicated because she jumped into another body. So that changes all the rules. And yeah, her soul's going to still have some things, but are there issues from the body that she's still attached to? I don't know. It's very complicated. And as we talked about on the live stream, what makes it even more complicated is before we understood this dichotomy of the body and the soul, if we went in, like there was a time I went in trying to get information from her birth mother, but it was complicated because is it the birth mother of the body or the birth mother of her soul the last time she was born? You see what I mean? So you got to be really careful how you ask things. So we weren't able to get something. So if we were to do it again, we would have to be very specific about we want to talk to the birth mother of that body. And even if you were to go and connect with the mother on the other side, that distinction would need to be there because it's very confusing. When we tried to reach her, she wasn't connecting to the soul, Elena, because that was not her baby. So you see how that makes things extra wacky? Yeah, it makes your brain crumble a little bit. Hey, Callista, so glad you could be here. Yes, we will star your question and come back to you. Penny Grumbine. Okay. Thank you. That helps. All right. So let's go to those starred questions. And we're going to start. We have 22 people here. Thank you all for being here. Let me see. By the way, I got my pendulum back. I'm going to try not to use it, but the angels finally showed it to me. It was in this box that I keep spare batteries. No way I put that thing in there. They hid it from me in a place that I would be so unlikely to look that it was months that it was missing. And finally, after I've not been using it for these months, they decided I could have it back for those occasions when I really do need it. And it makes a difference. They are too funny. All right, so let's go back to the top here. So, Brittany, advice from guides about your path and career. All right, so for Brittany's team, what can you share with her about her path and her career? They're saying, well, it's not the path you think it is. It needs some tweaking. It might feel like a good fit, but it's not. as dialed in as it could be. So a little to the left or a little to the right, just, like turning dials is what they're showing me, that kind of tweaking. So any details that you can give us about that, that'll make more sense? It's feeling your way through. Go through your solar plexus, check out what you're doing, the choices you're making, and just be sure that you're picking the very best, not the close enough or I'll settle. You don't want to settle. You want to choose the very best because that sets you up to be in closer alignment with your soul. So does that apply to career as well? Absolutely. It applies to everything they're saying. Okay. So anything else you want to tell her about that? They're saying you wield a sword yourself. And then, does she know this already? They're saying you kind of know it, but you don't really know it consciously. So they wanted to validate that for you, that feeling that you've had. You are wielding a sword of justice. Oh, interesting. So where you feel led to use it wisely and use it judiciously. And I'm seeing you using it like if you were doing psychic work and you're using it to cut. There's like cobwebs around some people and cords and things like that. And you can use that sword to go in and judiciously take away what no longer serves, because you don't necessarily want to get rid of everything. Some of that stuff might still be a work in progress. So they're saying that with your insight, you can look at that and see what needs to be cleaned up and removed. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know. And Beth, a general question for you. So for Beth, would you like to share with her tonight? There's a peaceful, quiet energy, a settling. It's like you are stepping out of the chaos and the uncertainty to a higher level of spiritual authority that you're just beginning to feel and embody. So there's that kind of a big step up for you. And that's what you've been working on for a long time. So they're saying once you step up, it's almost going to be like, how you turn a dial. Oh, like a safe. You turn that dial, and when you get to the number that opens it, there's like a click. And so it's kind of like that. It's you dialing it in, turning it, fine-tuning it to just the right spot, and then click. That's it. And then you move forward and more doors open. So that's kind of picking up on what they told you yesterday, but a little more refinement. Anything else you want to say about that for Beth, for clarity? Yeah, trust the process. Know that you are on the right path. And it's just a matter at this point of being patient, being consistent, and persistent. Never give up. Keep moving forward because you are headed the right way. And they're saying grand vistas will appear before you. You will understand, get more clarity as you go, but it's going to be unveiled bit by bit. And now I'm seeing like a movie reel. So when you get to the right spot in the movie, you get to see the reveal, but not until. So I hope that makes sense. Dr. Elena, can Metatron explain which apostle you were married to and if you were also a disciple, as you've been told? Okay, so for Dr. Elena, is it true that she was a disciple of Christ? I get a yes. And was she married to an apostle? I'm getting that you weren't married, you were engaged, betrothed. They're saying it was betrothed. That was the language of the time, but you hadn't gotten married yet. So you were there as a couple, but not married. So can you give us any more information? What was she doing as part of the mission back then? As many of the women did, you were in a supportive role, which was hard because you already had a deeper wisdom than the average person, being such an old soul. So there were more things that you could have contributed, but you had to kind of tiptoe around the men's egos and insert things carefully, if that makes sense. Anything else you want to tell her about that lifetime? Was she still living when Christ passed? Was she still alive after to do the work? Yes, your work went on for decades after. You and your then husband, because you did get married. Did they get married before the crucifixion? No, after. That, oh, it's like that melded you together going through that traumatic experience. And you were true partners at that point so that you could travel together as equals doing the work. And it was a great blessing to many people, as well as to yourselves. You derived great pleasure. They're saying your name was Rebecca with a K. Anything else about that? Who was she married to? Can you tell us that person's name? Was that one of the known disciples? No, it wasn't one of the original 12 or 13, whichever it was. It was one of the outer circle, the lesser known, but, no less important because, you served a very important role together. So let me know if that feels true to you. We can always probe it more later. Sandra, the new book, will it be published? So Sandra's team, is it highly likely that the new book will be published? They're saying that one's iffy. It's not going to be as easy as your teaching series because it's a little different. You're going to meet resistance in the beginning. You may need to walk the path of self-publishing for that one. They're saying don't give up because it's an important message that needs to be shared. And once you build more credibility with your publisher, you might persuade them, but it feels like they won't do it because it's not really a match for the kind of work that they do. So is it highly likely that another publisher who is a match for that kind of work might be open to it? The possibility is there, and they're saying particularly if your teaching series does well financially for that publisher, because then you can go to another publisher and you can show, okay, I've got this track record of sales, even though it's going to be a different market. That's where you're going to have the issue. It's a different market that you'll be putting it out there for, although there will be crossover. So it's a little more complicated. But they're saying, don't give up. Believe in yourself. Believe in the project. And whatever it takes, get it published. Even if that means going the self-publishing route, because there's no shame in going that way. In fact, it gives you more control. And, in truth, and this is from my experience, I can tell you, in truth, if you go with a publisher, then they have total control of how the book is marketed because they're spending their money. And if it doesn't do well initially, they just drop the whole thing and they don't spend any more money on it. And they're keeping all the profits from the sales. They're going to, give you whatever small percentage they've allotted. But since they take on all of the overhead costs of launching it, they keep the greater proportion. So when you self-publish, you get to decide about the marketing. You get to decide what you spend, how long you spend, and, how you do it. And you get to keep all the royalties. So there is a great advantage in that. With my books, because I was an unknown when I first published, those books would have died on the vine, never gotten out to anybody. But because I decided to hire a launch company who did a phenomenal job with that first book, they got me to bestseller in 5 different countries. I paid them a fee, but boy, was it worth it, because I never could have done that on my own. And then the next books, when they came along, already had that first book to springboard off of, so it was easier. So I'm a big fan of self-publishing, but I'm also a big fan of being in control of my own destiny. So take that with a grain of salt. So I hope that helps. Penny, you want to know if your guides are connecting to your Arcturian friends to bring their messages to the collective. It's a little convoluted. Are your guides connecting you to the Arcturians to bring messages? Okay, so for Penny. Team, are you connecting her? Are you the conduit connecting her to Arcturians? They're facilitating, yes. Yes. But they're saying you don't need that. You can do it yourself. Once you've done it and you've made the connection, you can go back anytime you want and reconnect with them. And there will always be something to share with you. So, yeah, sometimes it's nice to have that extra help when you get started with a new project like that. But absolutely. And they're saying that there's a lot of messages wanting to come through because the world is opening up. It's understanding and willingness to accept more of these stories about other souls being out there in the multiverse that may want to connect with us. So, yeah, people are opening up to more magical possibilities all the time. And sure, there's a lot of them who still think it's crazy talk, but that's okay. You're not talking to them. You're talking to the ones who are awakening souls who feel that deep connection because some of them came from those planets. That's, their original home. So they feel that resonance and they look forward to people bringing more messages for them, even though they can learn to do it themselves, but they really appreciate you being that conduit. So, yeah. So I hope that answered the question. Let me know. All right. For Mike's team, can we get some clarity about his path? He's very confused and needing your guidance. They're saying, Mike, you're overthinking. Feeling your way through is always the right answer. But there's just too many, it's like too many voices whispering at you all at once. So you're confused about which one to listen to. And they're saying that's not them, that's ego. That's ego who's like split into these, fragments. Your ego is fragmented, Mike. And it's talking to you from these different voices, which is very confusing. And when it speaks to you, it's not speaking in an uplifting or supportive manner. That's how you know it's ego. But it's been confusing because you're not used to ego speaking from multiple voices. No wonder you're confused. So let it all go. Put it aside. Find your way to silence, centered, grounded, silent, and just be. And they're saying, Mike, at the center of you, the center of the multiverse, prana is waiting for that conversation. And don't be confused about prana because prana is an energy, just like Archangel Raphael is an energy. So you can talk to prana, you can give it a name if you want, but prana has a message for you that's been trying to get through. It's just been overwhelmed by all those fragmented voices of ego. So when you spend the time, release that, and you might even see it like, there you're seeing all those fragments. Swipe them away one at a time. No, thank you. No, thank you. Don't need you. We're done with you. You go off over here in the corner and stay silent because Mike needs peace and Mike needs clarity. So you need to step aside and allow him to find that again, to find himself again. Peace and clarity, and prana has your answers. That's the big stumbling block. So when you come to that place of peace, groundedness, and space, away from the fragments, then you can have that conversation with prana. And don't be afraid of it. It's a feminine energy. She has a lot of love and wisdom to share with you. She will help you over those hurdles that you've been facing that seemed insurmountable. She's saying they're not. She will help you glide right over them. Nothing is impossible when you trust and flow with her. as well as creator, of course. She's not replacing creator by any means. She is just another energy who wants to assist. And she's been waiting a long time to connect with you. Okay, so let me know if that makes sense, Mike. Alrighty. Aurora Blue, a message from your guides. Okay. What would you like to share with Aurora Blue tonight? I'm seeing this lamb, this little lamb that's bleeding at you. You know, this little lamb. And I'm hearing the old nursery rhyme about Mary had a little lamb. Okay, what about the lamb? Is it a metaphorical lamb, symbolic, or an actual lamb that you're talking about? It's the energy, the symbology of lamb. It's a baby, needs to be nurtured. It's waiting for you to step up and nurture it. But it's an energy, it's not an actual soul. It's something that your soul wants to give to the world, this nurturing energy for the babies being represented, by the innocence of the lamb. And is that connected in any way to the biblical references of the lamb? They're saying yes. So I don't know if that's, something that you are connected with or not, but that's what they're saying. The purity, the beauty, the innocence of the lamb that needs guidance. Because little lambs on their own are subject to victimization, if not worse. Are you saying the lamb represents children? Yeah, it does. So I don't know if you're working with children in some way. That lamb is representative of the lost children who need help. So if there's something that you've been drawn to that you held back and, were afraid to commit or wasn't the right timing or anything, revisit that, because it's like knocking on your door right now, that little lamb bleeding at the door saying, open up, let me in. It's time. Wants to connect with you. So the lamb is your metaphor, your symbol to use as you focus on what it is that you want to birth into the world. That's what it feels like. So let me know if that makes sense. Regina, what role did you play during your lifetime with Isis? Open to suggestions and feel free to speak. Oh, yeah, I will tell you whatever I get. I don't hold back, because I learned long ago that's not a wise thing to do. If it comes through, I'm going to tell you. So for Regina, her team, what can you tell her about the lifetime with Isis? What was she doing there? Wow. Okay. Little mind blowing. You were not a she, you were a he, and you were a concubine of Isis, one of her favorites. And anything else about that that's important to know? Oh, you loved her madly, and you were so grateful for any time she could give to you. You worshipped her, literally, not just as a follower, but much more intensely. And you had other lifetimes with her. So this was a returning. And you chose to be a male in that lifetime so that you could have a different, more intimate relationship with her than you could when you were with her as a female. So that's a little mind-blowing. Let me know how that lays with you. That's kind of a weird word to use. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, let me know. Karen, a message from your guides. You keep hearing December is going to be a new beginning for you. Great things are going to happen before the end of the year. Oh, that's exciting. So Karen's team, what about her December? Can you tell us, give us a preview? What can she expect in December? You can expect the fierce winds to blow, but you will stand strong against them because you've prepared. You're ready. You have the confidence, you have the clarity, you have the wisdom. And now it's time to step up and put those attributes into action to fulfill the purpose that you came here for. So whatever it is that your soul is calling for you to do, now is the time to step up and be more purposeful about it. Put more energy into it because you're going to have to counterbalance against those strong winds. But yes, you will. So there will be that initial challenge as you find your equilibrium against those winds to do the work that you're here to do. And as the month continues, you will get stronger and the winds will get weaker. They will start to die down. So it's almost like it's a final challenge before you step into that next chapter, that next phase of your mission. And then in the new year, it's going to be more flow, more things will open up. It will be more comfortable. It will be sweeter. And it will be just soul satisfying at a very deep level. Yeah, so you are blessed, Karen. That's very exciting. Love a girl. It's your birthday month and you want to know if there's any positive or new beginnings for you this month. Okay, so for Love a Girl. Happy birthday. And they're singing happy birthday to you. Okay. So what can you tell her about the month of December? What can she expect? You're saying, what do you want? Get more clarity about what you desire moving forward. You are in this lovely energy that swirls around you during your birthday month. Get real clarity about what it is you want. And don't hold back because they're going to help you. They will help you step into it, step up to it, move through it, whatever it is that you need. But they are there to assist you. And the timing is really perfect for you to do this, as it is for all of the light workers. This is just a real pivotal time in our evolution. So it's time for everybody to step up into that space, that energy of what you came here to do. Find what feeds your soul and do it. It's that simple. If you don't know what that is, keep looking until you find it. And that's something I can help you with in a soul introduction reading, by the way, because we do that. We find what feeds your soul in that reading. But you can feel your way through those things that light you up, and you can find it on your own. If you're diligent and you keep following the leads, don't give up till you find it. So it's not like Creator hides this from you. It's out there, but you have to put in the diligence and the time to find it. So that's a big part of what you're doing in December. Dialing that in, finding your direction so that come January, you can take off like a shot and really make a difference in the world. Yeah, they're saying take off like a rocket ship. That's how intense the energy is going to be. So get it dialed in, get ready, and then, boy, hold on to everything, because when you take off, you're going to feel all of those, what is it they call that? The G-forces. When you really take off, you're going to feel that pressure of the G-forces. That's what they just showed me. Pretty cool. Callista, do we need to clear karma? You've seen videos that with a fire hose energy coming, you need to clear and prepare. Is it something to work on? And what do we recommend? Okay, so for Callista, her team, does she need to clear karma? Well, everybody does, Callista. So yeah, that's true in every lifetime. There's always karma to be cleared. And it's at various levels. Some is very deep and impacts you in a significant way in your present life, while others is just, it's more trivial. But yeah, where you feel something, and they will bring it to your attention, something will just keep coming up over and over until you notice it and say, oh, What is that about? What do I need to do? And often it's like a repeating pattern. It's something that keeps showing up in your life, maybe a certain kind of choice that you keep making over and over again. And they're helping you to recognize the pattern, to say, oh, the light bulb just came on. I see this is a pattern that I need to deal with. And at that point, then you can go to the angels and you can say, okay, team, now that I have recognized this is a pattern, can you tell me where it came from? What is the source? Help me to understand the choice that was made. What happened that was the catalyst that created this pattern in my lifetimes? Because they will repeat over lifetimes till they're resolved. Once you get that understanding, then ask them to help you release it. You can release it simply by stating that you intend to release it. You can do something a little more formal. You can make a little ritual. There's so many ways you can deal with it, and all of them are fine. It's what feels right to you. Yeah, and they're saying also that I should tell you, I'm not a good marketer, but they're pushing me to say this. So in the past lives karmic blocks reading, that's exactly what we do. We go looking for those karmic blocks that are affecting you in a negative way in this lifetime. Then we go find the story, and then there's actually a clearing ritual that takes care of each specific issue that comes up. So the clearing ritual is customized based upon what was found that needs to be done. So it can be done formally like that, but you also, as an empowered soul, have the ability to do it for yourself if you feel confident about it. So, anything else you want to tell Callista about that? It's not something to worry about, it's just something to pay attention to. When you notice something keeps coming up, delve into it, investigate it. What is it about? How do you feel? What do you think you need to do? And allow them to inspire you. It's kind of like those earworms that keep showing up. That's a message. And it can be connected to karma. It can be something else. Often it is connected to karma. Those things that just keep popping up are doing it for a reason, because you came to clear some of these things. You're not going to clear all of it in one lifetime. You're going to clear the things you're ready to clear now. That's what it's all about. So that it's like, you're going to swipe away that section of the table. And then the other stuff will be there for another lifetime when you're ready for it. Because if you did it all at once, it would probably kill you. It's just too intense. So, yeah, you take care of what you're ready to take care of in this lifetime. And that would be a blessing. You would feel a release. In fact, I got a letter from somebody today who I had done this with recently, and she just finished the 21-day clearing ritual. And she was remarking about how different she felt. The energy shifted, and she felt almost like a cleansing, like a different person, free of all of that old stuff, which is really so perfectly stated. Not everybody feels it that way, of course, but the fact that she did is so significant for her and so exciting. I can't wait to see what she does with it next, because it, clearing away that old stuff. Now there's this beautiful open path to create new, wonderful, positive karma that will bring more ripples of positive into your life. So it's not something to be afraid of. It's something to be understood and approached in that authoritative way that you are sovereign and you have the right to clear it, send it off to be transmuted. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know. All right, let me clear up these stars. And we'll go check to see what else is waiting for us. All righty. Oh my gosh. So let's see. Let me check it over here. I think I can see it better here. Just trying to find where I left off. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So Linda's question about the neck. Let me see. There it is. Okay. I'll get to you in just a second there. Okay, now I'm caught up with the stars. So go back and answer those questions. So, Linda, neck issues tied to stubbornness, inflexibility, and refusing to see the other sides of a question. Now you know why we were discussing stubbornness yesterday. Oh, that is so funny, Linda. So, is it helping? Knowing that, has that made a difference for you? Now, this is really freaky, but earlier today I saw a video from this guy who practices a lot of Asian moves to make the body more flexible and healthy. And he was talking about, that neck bump that people get, especially because, we're spending too much time like this looking at our devices. And so the neck is kind of bent forward rather than being straight the way it needs to be. So he demonstrated this technique that I think can help with what you're doing, because he said it can also help with stiff neck stuff. And it will definitely give you more flexibility. So you lace your fingers and you put them behind your head, about where your ponytail might be if you had one. And what you're going to do is you're going to push forward on your head, stabilizing pressure, and you're going to push back with your head, but you're going to keep your chin down so that you're not going up like this and because that's not the way you want to go. You want to have your chin slightly tucked and pushing against your head, pushing back, pushing. Try that and see if you can feel it. When you do that, you're aligning your neck properly. You're also strengthening those muscles that will help your head to stay straight. So do that, and you can do it for a few seconds at a time, or you can do it even longer. Like, it's isometrics is what it is. You can hold it for like 30 seconds at a time if you want to. So play with it, see what feels right for you. Then the next step. So again, you're doing the pressure and holding the head, but then again, with your chin tucked just a little, turn your head from side to side without flopping it around. Keep it in that straight line, side to side, with the pressure on it. And that's going to also help with the flexibility and the realignment of your neck. So I guess I saw that for you and me, because it sounds like we both need it. So give that a try, see how that feels, and let me know if that resolves what you were asking about, or if there was another piece of the question that I missed, because I want to be sure I got it all for you. Shika, a message. Welcome back. I haven't seen you in forever. So happy to see you. A message from your guides, new and positive beginnings or changes in December. All right, so for Ashika. Team, what do you have to share with her? I am hearing that song Popcorn. I don't know if you know that song. It's kind of an old one. It's kind of a kooky one. It's all music. There's no lyrics. And it's very staccato. So it mimics the energy of popcorn popping. It's very upbeat, and it's a movement. It's all about movement, because the corn is popping. And what is it also doing? It's coming into its own, right? It's coming out of its shell. It's evolving to, if it were a flower, it would be blossoming into its full beauty and power. So that's the energy that they're bringing for you for December. So can you give us any more about that so that she'll understand? Yeah, trust the process. Go with it. It might be a little uncomfortable at times because that kind of transformation can be a little uncomfortable sometimes. Try to stay in the flow as much as possible, allowing the process to play out. Don't forget to call on your angels if it gets too uncomfortable, because you can ask them to mitigate. They can slow it down, they can smooth it out, whatever it is you need to get through it more comfortably, because you don't have to suffer when you're going through this kind of transformation. Often we think, oh, we just have to grin and bear it because it's part of the journey, but it doesn't have to be, and that's one of those fallacies out there that they would like to disabuse us of that notion. So it's okay to ask for comfort as you're going through it. Anything else? They're saying enjoy the ride, all that popping up and down, because it's going to be quite exciting. And then they're giving me a visual. At some water parks, they have this open area, like a big circle, and they've got these water jets spaced out in it, and they've got them set up to, like that popcorn, all of a sudden pop up and shoot a stream, and then another one, and they're not all coming up at the same time, if you know what I mean. It's like they're there, and they keep spraying up unexpectedly in different places. So part of what you're going to be feeling is a little bit like that. It's like you're not going to know where the energy is coming from next. It's just going to be there. And it's okay. Don't be afraid. Stay in the flow. Allow it and have fun with it, because those things are fun. If you've seen the kids play with them, they race around to jump on wherever the water pops up next. So bring the fun energy to it, and that will help you a lot. So let me know if that makes sense. Laura, you're not sure what to ask. Well, that's okay. We can just ask in general if there's something they want to share with you. So for Laura, what does her team want to share with her? I'm seeing this really magnificent plushy carpet. It's like a shag carpet, but it's even longer. You know that hair that they put on those troll dolls? It's like that, and it's in a kind of a turquoise blue color. And it's so tall that you can take a brush and you can brush it up to, bring it back to the original state rather than being trampled down after people have walked on it. So I don't know what that means, but we will ask. Can you clarify? What is that about? It's symbolic of the self-care that you need to practice for yourself. So don't stay in that energy of the rug that's been trampled on. Sure, you're putting yourself out there, you're doing the work, and that's going to cause the mat to be trampled on. That's just a part of the process. But afterwards, you need to take care of yourself. You need to come back around and, like with that carpet, brush everything back up into its standing position, which is strength, power, and confidence. So whatever it is that you're doing, there's a danger of being too trampled on so that you become disempowered and you can't achieve what it is you're trying to achieve because you're too downtrodden. So find that place of balance. Yeah, do the work, but before you feel like you're exhausted and ready to collapse, get out of that energy, go do the self-care. Do that restoration, is what they're saying, restoration work. That will help you to take the next round and not become overwhelmed. So you're going to do it in almost like bursts. You go do a burst and then you pull out before you're totally depleted. Take the respite time, rejuvenate, and then come back when you're ready. You've got to decide when you're ready, and please do not overdo it. Do not overgive, because you will burn yourself out. And then you will be of no use to anyone, including yourself. So there's that danger of giving too much. You want to find balance. So hopefully that makes sense. Marcelina, messages from your team for this month. And do I teach how to access the team and the records? In the book, The Path to Hearing Angels and Guides, that was channeled from Metatron, that is your course on how to have these conversations. Once you do that, you can connect with your Akashic records. Yes, I have taught the course in the past, but not in a long time. There just isn't that much interest in it. But if enough people step up and say they want it, then I can do it again. So let me know if there's people out there who want that course. We can certainly do that in the new year. But yeah, as far as the connecting with the team, you absolutely can. And if you had a question for your team, let me know, because that one doesn't count. I play Roblo. Okay. Roblox? Oh, I play Roblox. Okay. How can you get rid of your financial issues? You're stuck in a debt trap. So, to your team, how to get out of the financial quagmire, to find that place of abundance, living the purpose. First of all, stop focusing on what you don't have. Focus on what you do have and be in a state of gratitude for that. Because the more you focus on what you don't have, the more you're not going to have. Remember, what you focus on expands. You put energy into that focus. So be looking at the things you're grateful for, and they will expand, which in turn will open doors of opportunity for more abundance. Right now, you're in that energy of, looking down, not seeing the sunshine, not seeing the blessings, only focusing on what you don't have and what you'd like to have, and maybe feeling a little sorry for yourself, which not a criticism, just an observation. But that energy pulls you into the abyss of more of that energy. So take baby steps, looking for tiny little things to be grateful for. Keep focusing on that. Keep expanding the list. And that can truly be as simple as the sun came up today. I'm so happy and grateful that there's sunshine today. Because, in this time of year, that can be a real bonus, right? It can be a blessing. That there's air to breathe, that there's a roof over your head. Everything and anything you can think of to be grateful for. Now, you can write this down, which I highly encourage you to do. It's better if you write it down. And then you can watch it expand. What that does is that shifts your energy into an open receiving place. So that slowly you're going to see more things to be grateful for, which will expand, and you'll see even more things to be grateful for. And as you do that and your energy is shifting, it brings you into a presence so that you notice when the angels will bring synchronicities and messages into your life. And then when you see them, take action on them. Do what you're inspired to do, and watch how that opens more doors of opportunity. So it's like you create this little avalanche for yourself. Start with the baby steps of looking for things to be grateful for, and keep going, keep going, keep going as more things to be grateful for show up. It really is that simple, even though it feels complicated. That's how it all begins. That's your path to abundance. Of course, it would really help you if you did something like follow the course in The Path to Hearing Your Angels and Guides. That's on Amazon. You can get it free if you are a Kindle Unlimited reader, because it's in that program. And even if you buy it, it's not very expensive for what you get. I mean, it's priceless information. You go through, you do that course, and you come out the other end in such a different place with different vision, and suddenly seeing the expansiveness of the world. Because when you're in the energy you're in now, your world is contracting. It's like collapsing on you. It's getting smaller and smaller. That's the wrong way. You want it to be expanding. And that's how you do it, one step at a time. So give that a try and let us know how it works out. Great question, Miss Debbie. I was actually thinking about that earlier today, because I'm really feeling exhausted and probably not going to do a whole lot in December other than, the regular things that I do. Most likely we'll do fewer videos. I really need that time to do the self-care and get in a better headspace. So I will look at the calendar and start getting some guidance on what's the best day to start. I feel like, of course, not the first, because there's too much stuff around the first. So maybe the second week. I might just count out the days and do the last 21 days of the month, because it's kind of fun, I think, to end on January 31st. That could be good. But I will let you know as soon as I figure it out. And thank you for prompting me. I appreciate that. So in case that was the question, yes, we are going to be doing it in January. That's a commitment I make to you guys every year. So we will definitely do that. Just a question of when we start. Other account. That's an interesting name. You made a mistake. It affects your youngest sister. She doesn't know it yet, but you're fearful about the outcome of admitting it to her. Any advice from the team about how to approach it? Wow, okay. Well, definitely not being in that energy of doubt and worry, because that's not helpful. And fear. So for other account, can you help her to understand? Sorry if you're not a her, I'm making that assumption. Feels like a her. Anyway, help her to understand how best to proceed with this mistake she made. They're saying, well, the longer that you stew about it, the worse it gets. So the sooner you apologize to her and let her know about it, the better. She may need a little cooling off period to process it, but you go to her in love and let her know you are so sorry. That was not your intention. And they're saying, ask her what you can do to make it up to her. It needn't be a disaster. You see, you're building it up to something way bigger than it needs to be. If you come to her from a place of contrition and love, she will accept it far better than she would have if you came to her from this place now of fear and worry. Because what happens when you focus on fear and worry? It expands. Focus on love and wanting to do right by your sister, and that will expand. So that's what you need to do. Let us know how that turns out. Denise, you've not celebrated Christmas since the last 3 deaths have been from family members that took their life, and you were first responders. I'm so sorry, Denise. Oh, that's horrific. But know that they're okay. It's just those left behind who have to deal with it. So I think if people really understood that their lost loved one was thriving on the other side, they could let go of some of their grief or guilt, self-recrimination about what could I have done. It wasn't your choice. Nothing really. It was something they decided, and as a sovereign soul, they have the right to make that choice. Those left behind just have to figure out how to process it. So knowing that they're okay and they've learned from the experience, they will go on. They'll have another life. You may even see them again in a future life if both sides want to. That can really help a lot in putting aside those feelings that make you feel like you don't want to live your life. Because what are you doing if you're not having that celebration that you want to have? You're punishing yourself for something that's not your fault, never was, not your burden to carry. Try to find a way to be happy for them that they're out of pain, because somebody who's in so much pain that they make that final choice, maybe it's a blessing for them, and it was the best choice. We put the judgment on it that it's a bad thing, and it isn't necessarily a bad thing. And there's no negative karma attached to that. The soul gets to decide. And the truth is that if it wasn't one of the scheduled exit points that their soul already decided on, they would have been unsuccessful. So if you know that, that puts a whole different spin on it. So they simply aligned with one of their, pre-chosen exit points, and that's why they were successful and were able to leave. So as much as possible, let them go in peace, knowing that it was right for them at that time. And you now have your life to go on with, because they don't want you to stop living because they're gone. That wasn't the point. It wasn't about you. It's about them. But you now is about you and your journey. So you don't want to get derailed and deprive yourself of the expansive, glorious journey that you came here to experience because of those unfortunate incidents. So put that aside as much as possible. Think about what Christmas means to you, because it means many things to different people, and lean into that. Allow the love, the innocence, the magic that Christmas can be to wrap its arms around you, comfort you, and let you experience that joyful energy again. And that will springboard you into the new year in a whole different headspace. It will turn into a blessing. And you sharing that understanding with other people will be a tremendous blessing. So think about that. Feel your way through it. Give it a try. See how it works out for you. And let us know. Right, so let's get rid of those stars. By the way, you guys, I want to remind you there's a pinned comment at the very top. If there's anybody here tonight who did not send a loved gift to Dr. Elena to help her get a place to live and start the next chapter of her life, then please use that link at the top. That is her account. It will go directly to her with no fees being subtracted that YouTube does, of course. And Denise, thank you for reminding me with that super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's see. Where did we leave off? Oh, I think we should stop taking new questions now. So I'll finish up with whatever's there, but we want to stop the new questions now. All right. Just trying to find where I left off. You guys give me a second. Okay, here we go. Regina asked, can you place a star near my name? The star on the StreamYard, which is the software that I'm streaming with, just means that it puts that comment into a special list so that when I get ready to answer questions, they're all in one place. I don't have to scroll up and down. So I did star you, and then after I answered your question, I unstarred you. But I don't think you see that on your end. So it's just something in the background that helps me to keep track. Brittany says it makes sense, sort of justice. That's what you do to help people, deliver messages to them. It's your gift. However, you have turmoil and anxiety, end of a relationship, and you've let it beat you in every aspect, so you're uneasy. Well, I hope you have a different perspective on that now, because, some relationships are just for a season. They're not meant to be forever. Once it goes bad, you can't force it. Maybe it's done, and by holding on to it, you're focusing on what you don't want, that dark energy, right? And you want to let that go and make the space for more beautiful people to come across your path and maybe another relationship to come in when you're ready. So it's always about looking for the joy, the love, following that path. Don't focus on the other stuff because you don't want that to expand. So you totally have that within you, and use that sword of justice. That will be so soul satisfying for you that even though the rest of your life maybe has issues, it will be easier to deal with because you will just feel so blissful of being on your path, living on purpose. And when you get to the end of the journey, you are going to be so grateful that you did that, because you can go without regret, because you lived the life that you came here to live. That's what it's all about for all of us. Beth, Sandra, you are so welcome. Penny, you liked the answer. I'm so glad. Dr. Elena, it doesn't match what you've been shown. You were dragged out of a tent by Roman soldiers shortly after Jesus disappeared because they thought that you knew where he went, and they hung you to death from an olive tree. Huh. Well, I could have gotten it wrong, or maybe what you got before was wrong. I don't know. We can revisit another time, but that's just the vision they showed me today. I don't know. It could be like an alternate reality too. I don't know. It's very peculiar because again, we have that complication between your body and your soul. So maybe there's some crossover there. So we'll have to parse that out and figure out what it means. Hey, Richard, welcome. You would like a message? Okay, you got it. Just go through the rest of these comments and then I'll come back and finish what I missed. Aurora Blue, you're not sure what the lamb means, but you'll meditate on it. Awesome. Perfect. Oh, thank you, Denise. That's so beautiful. I appreciate that. Love a girl, you're welcome. And thank you, Miss Debbie, for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. It's a little thing, you guys. It takes you just a stroke of the mouse, but it makes a world of difference on YouTube. And I know if you're like me, you get sick of people saying to you, like and subscribe and comment because it helps the channel. It truly does, but I'm not going to rag on you about it because I get tired of hearing it from creators and I don't want to be one of those. So just know that when you do it, that is a blessing that will bounce back on you. It's really good karma and it's deeply appreciated and noted. I see who does it and I remember. So it's always appreciated. Regina, the healing technique sounds great and you will move forward with confidence. That is so beautiful. I'm glad to hear that. Regina, hearing your goddess Isis reading was mind-blowing. An amazing mental awakening message received. You are so welcome. I think it was pretty cool to see what you chose to be in that lifetime. So yeah. And there's probably more that you can delve into as you walk through those past lives, connecting with more information. So just allow it to expand. Regina, you're doing the neck stretch and it made you belch. Well, that's probably a good thing. Yeah, releasing toxins. Absolutely. Because all of us these days are, spending way too much time on our electronic devices, that's probably something we could all benefit from. Because who among us wants to have that hump on the back of our neck? That doesn't bode well for our future. Oh, and for you too, Miss Debbie. Yeah, let's do them together. It's really simple, just a couple minutes, and it makes a big difference. Regina, cooking popcorn is releasing energy. Yeah, it really is when you think about it. And metaphorically, of course, the popcorn, it's like it's the fetus, and then it pops, and it's born into the life that it came here to live, even though it's very short-lived. But, that was its purpose, to come and get popped. Oh, thank you, Miss Debbie. I didn't notice anybody spelled it wrong, but I appreciate the reminder. Linda, Hot Buttered Popcorn is the name of that music. Oh, cool. I always thought it was just a popcorn song. Yeah, but it's funny. Funny story about that song. When I was getting ready to do my podcast, which I haven't done in a long time, but one day I will get back to it, I wanted to have some music written for it, the intro and outro music. And the person I worked with to write that for me, one of the things I sent to him was the popcorn song. I found a video of it. This Swedish group performed it. It was hysterical. I mean, cheesy as all get out, but hysterical. And I sent him that, and I sent him another piece of music that I really liked. And he liked the first piece of music, and that ended up informing upon what he created. He said, after his eyes got over bleeding watching that video, he had to tell me that those two things just did not in any way, shape, form go together. And so we discarded it. But I didn't want that sound. I wanted that energy. That's what I was trying to convey, but I guess I didn't do a good job because, what does that feel like? It's like that's percolating, right? Which we're doing all the time. We're percolating this energy. And that's what I was trying to encapsulate. But it was okay because the first piece was enough inspiration for him to get what I was going for. But I will never forget that. It was so funny because obviously he was younger and had never heard the popcorn song. I grew up on it. It was a fun thing we listened to as teenagers. Okay, this thing bounced on me again. I don't know why it did that. That's crazy. Lost my place. Come on back. Okay, I think that's it. It's funny how new ones are popping in that I didn't see before. Okay. Oh, thank you for the blessings and hugs, Linda. Always appreciate it. Regina, a great message about people deciding to leave their bodies. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, every once in a while I get off on that message because I don't think we can say it often enough. There are so many people making that choice, and all we can do is accept it and bless them because they have the right. Denise, you've been in trauma therapy. Your first husband hung himself, and you've been married for 35 years. I'm not following that next piece. The husband now from his side, and he won't let you put a tree up. The new husband's not letting you put a tree up. Huh. Okay, well, you have to compromise and find peace in the family. But here's the thing. Could you find some little thing that you can put for yourself that would be symbolic of the tree that would make you feel good? You know, there's lots of ways to do that. It doesn't even have to look like a tree. It could be something else. Just something that you put the energy, the love, and the intention into. Almost like a vase. Yeah, you're showing me that. So like this vase that you pour all that into, and then through the month of December, it can trickle out. And you will feel it, you will know it's there, but nobody else will know. So if you can't work that out and have peace in the family, this could be your compromise that serves you. And as much as possible, just send love to that first husband, to the spirit, and have appreciation for what you did have with him. And if you can, let him go. Tell him you understand and you accept and want him to be happy because he is happy. But you acknowledging and letting that go is very therapeutic for you. So I hope that brings you some peace this holiday season, and that it will be the first of many where you will be in a whole, a peace of mind and joy about the season. Don't let anybody rob you of that, because there's so much symbolism attached to it, and history, memories, not just this lifetime either. Lots of it there. So allow that to envelop you, to bring you comfort and peace. Much love to you, Denise. Thank you guys for putting the ending. Brittany, you're letting go. Okay, that's cool. Oh, Linda, I see what she was saying. Okay, I didn't understand that the star that she was seeing was for people who are members of Soul Seekers. Yeah, so you can join Soul Seekers and you can earn that star that way. Janani, we are past the time where I'm taking new questions, so I'm sorry, we'll have to get you another time. But remember, we're here first Monday of every month. Just come a little earlier next time so you can get in there. Regina, you did it. Janani, you missed the metaphysical sessions. Yeah, I'm sorry. And I would make an exception, except then I would be out of integrity, because when I give my word, it has to mean something. So, yeah, I'm sorry. But I'm going to be seeing you soon, so we can talk about it then. Karen, you are so welcome. It makes sense because you have several things coming to an end in December. So it makes sense about the soul purpose. Lots of work ahead. Yeah, but really wonderful, soul-satisfying work. Linda, you remember those percolators? Yeah, they were something else. They're still around. Lots of people still have them. Laura, you are so welcome. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. Oh, great, Linda. You can make the vase or jar a gratitude container. I love that. Short, happy gratitudes on little pieces of paper. When you feel down, you can pull them out. Oh, thank you, Linda. That is so beautiful and so wise. I appreciate that. Love girl, you are so welcome. Okay, let me pop back and get the remaining few questions, and then we will wrap for this month. So, Richard, message for whoever wants to come forward. Okay, so Richard. Who from Richard's team wants to come forward with a message? So a clown is coming forward, Richard, identifying themselves as Jelly Roll and raising the hand saying, I want to be the one. So Jelly Roll, what do you want to share with Richard? Fun. Want to share lots of fun with Richard. Want to hold his hands and dance in the rain under the stars. That is so beautiful. So are you saying that Richard needs to get out and let his hair down, relax more? For sure, for sure. Okay. So what else do you want to tell Richard? Richard, you work too hard, man. You got to relax. You need to let off some steam. Let the love, the sunshine pour into your body, relaxing you, soothing you, comforting you, because life can be pretty darn stressful. And that's not good for your body. So there's some health issue that Jelly Roll is referring to, Richard. You really need that self-care. You've got to relax. You've got to do the meditation. Get out there and dance in the rain. Let off the steam so that your body can relax and renew itself. And as we're coming to the end of this very intense year, it's even more important. You don't want to be that pot that boils over. So anything else from Jelly Roll? He's doing that little salute, you know. That was the complete message. Okay. Thanks, Jelly Roll. We appreciate it. So I hope that makes sense, Richard. BK Hyphy. Okay. I hope I said that right. A message for BK Hyphy from their team. What do you have to share with BK? I'm hearing that Leslie Gore song, Sunshine, Lollipops, and Rainbows. If you don't know that song, please go to YouTube, look it up. It's very upbeat, very happy, very hopeful about the future. Lots of excitement. So are you saying that's the energy that BK needs to embody? Yeah, they're saying take it up a level. There's been too much of this monotone stuff. You need to add that percolating energy, the highs. Allow yourself to take that roller coaster ride. You want to go up and have the highs and then come back down where you get into that calm, peaceful state. And then you go back up again because there are so many exciting things on your horizon. And you need to allow them to excite you. It's like they're saying monochrome, monotone. There's too much of this level energy. Almost like depression. I don't know if that's what they're saying. Is that what you're saying? You're saying they're depressed? They're saying, yeah, let's call a spade a spade. It's depression. So you need to let that go, embrace the joy. And in the beginning, that's not easy because when you feel like crap, it's hard to do that. But just like that message earlier, taking those little baby steps, find something that makes you smile or giggle is even better. Just for a little bit, do that. And then keep finding those little things, adding that to your marble box of your delightful treasures. As you find new things that lift you up, bring you out of the doldrums, give you that ray of sunshine to warm your heart, little bit by little bit. And you can lean on your angels when you do that. So step out into the sunshine, look for things that bring you joy, that bring you gratitude. Stop focusing on all the things that bring you down because those will expand and you don't want them to expand. So I hope that makes sense. Give it a try and let us know how it goes. Oh, I just saw your second message. You're feeling alone and lost in your journey. Okay. So there you go. You're going to look for those bright spots. Let your angels guide you to them and then take the ride. Enjoy every moment of it and know that there are more coming your way. Once you get on that roller coaster and start enjoying it, having the fun, more and more wonderful things will come into your path. So it's where you put your energy and focus that expands. So I hope that makes sense. All righty. Let's see what we got on the other side. Thank you for understanding, Jadani. I appreciate that. Yeah. Linda, you can look up Glimmer Globe on YouTube. Tarot Stash did a series of videos. Cool. I'll have to look for that. I didn't see it, but it sounds really cool. And he's very funny. Denise, you really appreciate it. You do those things, but your husband is a butthead, so you surrender, but you miss the tree. Yeah, so just find little ways to incorporate it. It doesn't have to be anything big that upsets him. And you can have multiples all over your house. You know, maybe you've got your own little private space. Like if you have a little altar space or something, you can put those tiny little trees on it if that brings you joy. Or anything. Maybe you need the lamb in your life. Bring that little lamb in to bring you comfort and love. Yes, Regina, believe you're deserving to be happy. Happiness is in your life. Absolutely. Hi, Irma from Alberta. Oh, from Irma, Alberta. Okay, sorry. Tammy. It's been a long time, Tammy. Glad to have you back with us again. BK, you are so welcome. Okay, you guys. So I think we are at the end. Small group tonight, but I appreciate each one of you who showed up. And if you came late and didn't hear, yesterday we did a 6-hour fundraising marathon for Dr. Elena, who's needing help to find a new place to live after being nearly blind or legally blind for months now. And she's coming through that with surgery. So hopefully soon she will be totally rejuvenated and ready to go out and find her home. So she needs a little help financially to do that. And that was what our fundraising was about. So at the very top, I pinned a comment with the link to her account where you can deposit directly. Anything that you feel led to share is perfect and deeply, deeply appreciated because one of our own needs our help. And how can we not step up to help? That's why we're here supporting one another. That's why I'm here supporting you. And so I'm asking you to remember all that I've given you and do it for me if you don't know who Dr. Elena is, because trust me, she deserves it. I would really appreciate it. Please and thank you. All right, so let's do our closing prayer. Knowing that December is going to be a tremendous blessing to us all because we are winding down this crazy year and opening the door to just amazing possibilities in 2026. And don't forget, we are going to do the Metatron 21-day challenge in January. So if you have not yet read the book, The Path to Hearing Angels and Guides, do that now so that you're ready. And then when we dive in and do this challenge together, it'll probably be like the second week of January so that we can do the last 21 days of the month. I think that will be the case. But I will let you know when I choose the date. And you can join us in the Facebook group. We will be posting there daily during the challenge. You can get support there. You can hear about other people's experiences and something we do every year together as a group. Because when you do it together, it magnifies the results, which means if you're not already hearing your angels and guides, you will be by the time we're done. Because all of that energy just carries us all forward into this beautiful space of intention, love, and appreciation. It's a marvelous way to start the new year. So I hope you can join us. All right. Thank you, Aurora Blue. You are so welcome. So let's just take a couple of deep breaths. Whew. Thank you, amazing divine team, all of the angel helpers out there, Creator, Metatron, Mother Gaia, we so appreciate you. All the love, the support that you give us, the nourishment, body and soul, makes all the difference. We could not do this without you. And with our community who are so amazing with their love and their support. And their eager, excited souls looking forward to the next amazing phase of their soul journey. Together, we are manifesting Earthtopia, and it is a glorious experience. One day we'll be on the other side of the big challenges, and we'll be in the flow more often. And what a fabulous time that will be, where we can expand and stretch and release all that strife that has been with us for oh so very long. That peace that passes understanding, the bliss, it's all on the horizon. And we get glimpses of that bliss even now, once in a while. So lean into that bliss and let that expand in your life. Because I can tell you, I've experienced it, and it is amazingly wonderful. You want to experience it. Lean into your angels. Let them help you soar, and you will feel it more often. It's there for you. The transformation is ongoing. We are evolving into a new higher being to match the evolution of Gaia. It's a stretch, but it is worth the effort. And don't forget to ask your angels if you need help to make it a little more comfortable as you get stretched. So once again, thank you for being here, all of you. You are deeply appreciated. I look forward to seeing you again for the first Monday in January. And anything else that pops up in the meantime, who knows what Metatron might dream up for us. I'm always kept surprised. I know you are as well. Stay tuned. Stay in the flow. Stay in divine love light and share it liberally, freely, wherever you go. With much love to all of you. I will see you soon. Mwah. Good night, everybody. Linda, you're so welcome. Miss Debbie, thank you so much. Much appreciation. Okay, signing off now. Bye.